Hi people, Moino Weidenberg here again, of course. I'm going to discuss, as the header of this short video suggests, gives away, how broken homes work essentially from an esoteric or from a spiritual perspective. The whole concept of a broken home, which most people that generally speaking are mentally ill or that suffer from mental illness, most of them, all of them, if not most of them at the very least, so 99 out of 100 times, they come from these toxic backgrounds. They come from broken households and or broken homes and whatnot. Now, I'm just speaking obviously in general terms. People that generally speaking are not really going through a great period in life, or people that lead crappy lives in general, or whose lives are predominantly filled with pain and suffering and hardship, they come from broken homes. And again, the mental or spiritual factor that plays a role is that when you grow up, essentially, your astral body, just like your physical body, is in a stage of development. And it essentially shapes who you'll become. Between the ages of 0 until, let's just say, until you're 20-something, 25, your astral body is still under development, the same way that your physical body is still growing. But the strongest development is between 0 and 6 years old or 7 years old. Let's just say at most 10 or 12. So let's just take an average. It's an estimate. So let's just take an average of between 0 and 10. And yeah, the same way that when between the ages of 0, so when you're born, as well as 10 years old, the same way that your body is still growing, and that the majority of growth takes place around that time. The same accounts for your astral body or your spirit. So your astral body or spirit also grows the same way. And how it works is that your astral body has a strong inclination other than your well, they're both aligned. I wanted to say initially other than your God-given personality that you were born under, but they're both linked. Almost every single time they're linked. I have yet to meet a case where someone's environment essentially contradicts or is not in perfect alignment with the environment they grew up in. In any case, in alignment with your God-given personality, your astral body absorbs its environment. And yeah, that's pretty much self-explanatory. The general consensus is that a mentally healthy, stable environment will lead to a mentally healthy, stable individual. Sex also comes into play, as in gender. For example, since I'm a guy, the household, if I were to grow up in a household with, for example, a strong father or a father figure, then I would naturally take after him. But if the opposite is the case, then I'm also going to be a weak male, essentially, when I grow up, because, again, my astral body essentially copies off of it, monkey see, monkey do. At a mental level, that's also the case. So again, you can see for yourself what time it is. If someone grows up in a toxic environment, the likes of which I described, and under the conditions that I described, then it's nearly impossible to expect or to see a positive outcome come to play. That's not going to be the case. End of story. Okay, again, broken home. Let's just say the saying you can apply here is broken home, broken personality. If someone comes from a broken home, then almost always, these people will essentially absorb their environment mentally and to a lesser extent physically. So if they grow up in like an abusive household filled with verbal abuse and physical abuse and whatnot, then yeah, you can expect them to grow up to be broken individuals. Of course, it's never too late to turn your life around and whatnot. It's not a death sentence or a permanent. It's not a thingy. It's not a permanent verdict, to put it that way. There is always hope, and but yeah, generally speaking, that's simply the theory that is applicable behind all of this. Bye, guys.